Now today Nio gave us their April delivery numbers. Now this comes after so many of the new investors, including myself, were patiently waiting for these figures to see just how bad these COVID outbreaks in China really impacted the deliveries of the Nio cars. But I must say that on Tuesday, when Nio came out and said that they had produced or they had reached a 200,000 production or mass production, it made a retail investor like myself to be really confident coming to see or waiting for Nio to give us their April delivery numbers. Now today, as I've said, they gave us the numbers, and I must say that yeah, I was a bit disappointed simply because those of you that have been following me for some time, or those of you that watched the video I did about Nio yesterday, you already know my prediction of saying that I was expecting Nio to deliver around 8,000 vehicles for the month of April of 2022, and of course I had put, or that came, or I had derived that from that 200,000 vehicles which they had produced on Tuesday. Now before we get to the delivery numbers, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and you should not take it as a professional financial advice video. Now I would really appreciate if you can just hit that like button if you enjoy the content that I'll be giving you regarding the Nio deliveries which they just gave us today. Before wasting any further time, though Nio did not produce the deliveries as many retail investors or as many people were expecting, this is a company which is still doing very well and set to do very well. I mean, still on those delivery which they announced today, though to some others maybe to them it was just bad news, to me I began to pick up some of the good things from those delivery results which they announced today, which I'll share with you on this video. Now for those of you who have not watched or seen the results for the month of April 2022, Nio delivered 5,074 cars. Now these 5,074 cars, it is a 49% drop from the deliveries they reported in March of 2022, which is last month's deliveries. It was also 29% down year over year. Now like I said, one of the main reasons, or the main reasons why Nio delivered such a low number, it is due to the fact of the COVID cases surging in China, which resulted or brought a lot of supply chain constraints, which then led many factories including Nio suspending their production for some time. Now one of the things, of course, that I think I did not give myself time to look into detail was how bad the deliveries were being impacted, because like I said, from the Tuesday mass market figure of 200,000 which Nio announced, I had assumed that delivery wise there is no issues. Nio will be delivering some good numbers, but from today's results, Nio emphasized the point that not only were they affected when it comes to producing these cars, but they were also seriously affected when it comes to the deliveries of this car, which is something that I think it really also hammered their delivery numbers for the month of April. Now one of the things that must show you that this is not, or these low delivery figures are not only on Nio but almost in all the EV companies in China. I mean, if you had to go and look at the deliveries that Li Auto delivered or reported, you will notice that they reported a 62% drop figure from the deliveries they had reported in March. So the deliveries that Li Auto reported for the month of April, they were 62% down from the deliveries they reported in March. And same goes to Xpeng. Xpeng reported a 41% decrease from the deliveries they had reported in March, meaning that from those over 15,000 vehicles they delivered in March, they found themselves delivering just around 9,002 of vehicles for the month of April, which again must just show you that these supply chain constraints did not only affect Nio, but it also affected Xpeng and Li Auto and other automakers in China, which is something that must just show you that this is something that seriously impacted all EV makers in China. Now, one of the positive things I saw that made me proud from the Nio announcement for their April deliveries, it was their ET7 deliveries, because since the screen you notice that Nio for the month of March they delivered around 693 ET7 models, which I must say it is a good thing, because it is showing, we are getting to see more and more of the ET7 deliveries. I mean, the first time these ET7 deliveries were delivered, it was on March the 28th, which getting to see that Nio it is delivering slowly more and more of this ET7 is something that must just has to make us see the potential or the dominance that we might see these ET7 figures contributing towards Nio deliveries. So this is one of the good things which I saw from Nio's deliveries, which they reported today. Now, another thing which really caught my attention in those delivery numbers or delivery report from Nio is the fact that Nio emphasized the point that they will be starting with the deliveries of the ET5, which by the way will be produced in Nio Park on September 2022. So there Nio emphasized the point of saying that they probably are still on schedule to start with the deliveries of the ET5 model this coming September, which is something that must just show you that yes, in the short term, though these automakers, including Nio, might be having short-term headwinds, in the long term, these are companies which will do very well. This is a company that its fundamentals and its future prospects are just so massive, and I think you cannot easily ignore the things that Nio is to achieve in the next coming few months, which is why I think you should take this good opportunity of the low trading price of Nio and probably load the boat onto this stock, because this is a stock which is just said to do very well. I mean, getting to know that Nio still with these supply chain constraints, they are coming out and say that they still believe that they will deliver the ET5 in the September of this year. It is something that as an investor it made me to be really excited, because then that just means that the Nio Park will start with the production around September, and we're going to see Nio ET5 being delivered from September of this year, which is something that I think it's good news to investors, because some of the investors were asking themselves if with these supply constraints and all the other factors that are happening around China, the short-term headwinds, if Nio will still pull it through to start with the deliveries of the ET5 around September. Now, to get to see them coming to confirm, I think to me it was one of the positive things that I took out from the delivery report that Nio just announced today. Otherwise, Nio, it's a stock which I still remain very bullish on, and I believe that its fundamentals and its future prospects are just so massive, and one way or the other they will also make the share price or the stock price of Nio to rise as this future prospect come into implementation. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I make tons and tons of stock market investing videos, and if you think that this video was amazing, please don't forget to hit that like button and comment and subscribe. That's if you have not subscribed to the channel already, so that YouTube can notify you every time I release a new video. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.